you're a writer at Saturday Night Live who wants to survive, you have to deal with things being cut all the time because it's part of the life of a writer there. And sometimes you may not think it's fair, and maybe it isn't fair, but it's definitely part of the existence of that show. You just have to sort of get pissed off and vent, but then move on and write more stuff. But everyone, the longer you're there, the longer you deal with that rejection. But it makes you resilient and you don't give up and you keep writing funny stuff.
How many sketches are due a week, or is it like a certain number?
Well, the more senior you are, the more sketches you're allowed to submit.
Okay.
So when you're a new writer there, you're only allowed to write one sketch. But the most I probably ever submitted was 4. But I tended to write 2 to 3 per table read.
Could you give any advice for like newbie sketch writers or people just trying to get into sketch writing?
Number 1, make sure you have a good premise. You can't waste your time. If you have like, oh, my sketch is going to be about 2 things. Stop. Don't do it. It should be one idea, one through line that you introduce as quickly as possible in your sketch. And then you have to, before you start putting pen to paper, know in your head the funny beats once you introduce your premise that you're going to build on to make your sketch. And I always say there should be at least 3 funny beats. Yep. 3 is enough to make a sketch, right? It could be 4, 5, 6, but you got to have 3. And then don't worry so much about the ending because no one cares. Like you got to get them at the top. You got to build the laughter and then just get the hell out. Try to pick the sketches that you spend time writing and producing where you go, I don't think there's anyone else who would come up with this idea, or if they had this premise, they wouldn't do the premise in the way that I'm doing it, meaning that it makes your voice stand out more, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that's the biggest advice I could give you, avoiding premises that other people are going to think of.
Yeah, I like that advice a lot.
Oh,
I haven't heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the best sketches that I've written were definitely premises where people are like, wow, Hugh, I don't know how you thought of that. I wouldn't think of that. That's kind of the best.
Yeah. Watch full interviews inside the Screenwriting Success Club. Click the link in the video description and join the Screenwriting Success Club today.
At SNL, if the week starts Monday, you have to have your final polished script really turned in by Wednesday morning, and then you can tweak it between Wednesday and Saturday. Whereas with my advanced class, you have an entire week to write one sketch. So it's different in that regard. And the other difference is obviously at SNL, when your sketch is read aloud, it's read by the cast, which is incredible.
I think my favorite sketch I think of yours that I've seen is Stevie Nicks Fajita Roundup. I love that sketch so much. I've laughed. I've watched it repeatedly because I've laughed at it so much.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, tell these guys it's really not that mean. It's got a couple of jokes.
Yeah,
he's made everybody watch it.
Aw, did you like it?
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
Thank you. And by the way, that was
Mac songs.
That was written at 2 a.m.
Nice.
2 a.m. as my office at 30 Rock.
I feel like some of the best stuff is written when you're really tired and
it's
done. Yeah.
Exactly. It didn't take terribly long. But I remember very well, like it was fun to write. Sometimes you're writing something going, I don't even know. I think this is funny. I'm not sure. But other times you're sure. And that one I knew was funny to me. I didn't have any doubt about it.
Yeah, it's a great sketch.
Thank you.
I feel unincluded because Jordan did not share this.
Oh no!
He did before we jumped on, or when we jumped on, before you jumped on. He again shared with the group. I think. What was one of your favorite sketches?
Maybe my favorite sketch that I wrote on SNL that was a recurring thing was Larry. It was Norm Macdonald playing Larry King's News and Views, and to me, it's the meanest take of Larry King that anyone's ever done, because I really portrayed him as this senile, ass-kissing weasel who really had nothing important or original to say. And it was just the simplicity of, it wasn't him doing interviews. It was him sitting at a typewriter, straight to camera, pontificating about everything. So, everything from saying, of all the great black golfers, Tiger has to be one of the 8 or 9 greatest. Just stuff that was like redundant. And some of them were sort of borderline made you cringe. Like he goes, is it just me or is Nelson Mandela overrated? So people go like, whoa. But people loved it. And that might be my favorite thing.
Nice.
Very good.
Can you talk about your stand-up and your journey to Saturday Night Live?
I started my stand-up in Indiana where I was growing up. And so awesome. I did stand-up for 11 years based out of Los Angeles, but traveling the country, doing colleges, worked my way up to being a headliner, started doing some TV as a comedian. And then during that time, I formed a friendship with David Spade. We kind of came up the same time in stand-up, and we had a similar sensibility. So when he got on SNL, he asked me to, on the sly, write stuff for him. But he couldn't really tell them that I was writing because that would make him look bad, although he's a great writer. But he loved the stuff I was writing. It was getting on the air on Weekend Update, particularly his famous Hollywood Minute, where he'd take down celebrities. And he came through for me in a big way by talking to Lorne Michaels, getting me a meeting, and getting me the job on Saturday Night Live. So that tells you sort of my journey from stand-up to SNL.
I have noticed that you do seem to like some mean humor. I don't know how to put that nicely.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm not good at mean humor, if you couldn't tell.
Well, you're really nice. So, but hey, I'm nice and I'm good at mean humor, so you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a tip for doing mean humor? How do you make it work?
Okay, so number one, you have to be clever, right? Like mean is not funny if it's not clever. I think it ultimately has to be really clever. So that's number one. Number two is that there's different ways. If you want to say someone's a fucking douchebag, instead of saying they're a fucking douchebag, if there's ways to convey that sentiment in a more artistic way, then that's funnier.
Watch full interviews inside the Screenwriting Success Club. It's a community for totally new and pro screenwriters. You'll get on-demand screenwriting courses and interviews from blockbuster screenwriters and a lot more. Click the link in the video description and join the Screenwriting Success Club today.